It affects who we love, it affects how we play as children, the clothes we wear, how we interact with people, the books we can read, the films we watch, the lessons and the subjects that we get taught at school. It affects everything.
From the moment we're born, we become part of a population divided into. Based on our physical characteristics at birth, we are assigned a gender, a complex system of rules and expectations that seek to define how we dress, behave, and think. This leap from genitalia to gender role is an assumption that biological sex automatically determines gender, and that both exist solely within a binary system. This is the gender con. We are told that sexes in humans are biologically concrete, but many people's bodies possess a combination of physical characteristics, typically thought of as female or male. This is known as being intersex, and it is the reality of life for almost 2% of live births. The gender binary, however, does nothing to account for these 150 million people living worldwide today. This can make the many types of gender confirmation surgery the only option for intersex and trans people that are excluded by the binary system, such as Elliot Douglas, who underwent top surgery in 2018 as part of his medical transition.
So I first wanted to have gender confirmation surgery when I was about 13 or 14 because my chest grew quite quickly and developed quite quickly. I remember being about 14 and saying to my mum that I wanted a reduction on my chest because I was just so uncomfortable with it. For me, having the chest that I had prior to surgery, it felt like that was over the top of what should have been there. So what I have now was what's always been there, but the chest that I had before, that was what needed to go, that was what felt unnatural to me. And I think if you're a cis person, you feel natural with your body most of the time. I mean, obviously there's things that we don't like about all of our bodies, but you feel comfortable with the gender you were assigned at birth and how your body presents itself. Having my gender confirmation surgery was the best thing that ever happened to me. It really did save my life, and I know that I wouldn't be here without it.
But current NHS wait times and government funding allocation makes this a very difficult prospect for those without the resources to go with private treatment.
The problem that I think with the NHS clinics is that they've not been prioritised. The government are aware, people are aware that this is an issue, but nothing is being done about quelling the waiting times. It's getting to the point now where it's actually in a crisis. It's not about whether they are actually going to transition or not, but if they have questions and they're questioning it, and they should feel like they're able to at least talk to someone about that.
Poorly funded public services means many young people facing dysphoria do not have access to basic psychological help. This can make life within a binary system extremely oppressive and confusing.
I've struggled with my mental health for literally as long as I can remember. I don't remember a time when I wasn't in therapy of some sort. Just knowing that I had to live as a woman, or at least as a girl, in like the eyes of my parents and the eyes of school and society, I felt like I had no identity. Like it was consistently stripped from me every single time I heard my dead name, every time I was called she and her, every time I was called a woman or a girl. I couldn't escape it. It was everywhere, and I felt like I genuinely didn't believe that there was ever going to be a life for me where I felt fulfilled. It made the difference for me between being like suicidal and just feeling like I'm free now. There's really no comparison to how I used to feel to how I feel now.
Psychological issues around gender are symptoms of the binary system. Until we accept that this needs to be altered and become advocates in free self-expression, many gender-diverse people cannot live the life they deserve.
Like life just feels like I have a future now. I can see myself being a dad, which like I never wanted children before, and now anytime I like see a kid, I'm like, oh, please let me be a dad. Like I just have all these goals and these aspirations that feel tangible now. It's just such a beautiful feeling, and I never thought I'd feel it.